Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Jay the Great, and welcome back to another combat sports related video here today. And today, as you could tell by the title, the shocking title, we got Logan Paul versus Floyd Money Mayweather. Now, before I go right into this, if you're new or you enjoy the video once it's over, please show some love, hit that like button. And if you haven't already become part of the family, please hit that sub button. Any love is greatly appreciated. But let's get straight into it. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Now just listen to the sound of that bizarre matchup. On one side, we got Logan Paul, one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, only in his early 20s, and he's killing the game. Tens of millions of subscribers, of fans, millions of dollars, living the life. And on the other side, we got the greatest boxer that's ever lived, in my opinion. Definitely one of the greatest boxers, that can't be disputed, that's ever lived and ever fought in the ring. So this is bizarre. This is a bizarre time to live in general, But to break down this matchup, it's hard to put into words. I mean, this is insane. The fact that we got an all-time great facing a guy that's only fought twice and is 0-1 with one draw against boxers that aren't established, But as far as the matchup technically, I mean, what is there to say, really? Floyd wins easily. The only thing that Logan Paul has is significant size on Floyd. I'm guessing he's around 40 to 50 pounds heavier. Has about 3 to 4 inches on Floyd. He's around 6'1", I believe, and Floyd's around 5'8". But technically, I can't really break down Logan Paul, right? He powerful dude, strong dude, good athlete. That's all I really know about the guy. I mean, I saw him fight KSI. It was sloppy work. I mean, don't blame him because he's barely fought ever. He's only been training for a year since his first fight with KSI, I believe. So that's all I can say about him. And on the other hand, we got the greatest defensive wizard to ever put on a pair of boxing gloves, Floyd Mayweather. A master tactician. A master. He's a wizard in there. He's a fucking wizard. He can't be hit. He's never been knocked down. Never been cut by a punch, I believe. He's had a bloody nose, and I believe Cotto and a couple other guys gave him, some tough shots to the nose, but he's never even been cut. He got cut by Maidana, but that was a headbutt. So this is insane. It's just the news itself. It's not even really a breakdown of the fight. It's just grasping the news and me wanting to tell you where this puts us in the sport of boxing. Now, let me be honest. I'm a hardcore fan. I consider myself a hardcore fan. But boxing kind of needs this right now, man. It kind of needs this right now. Because this past Saturday, we had Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. It was an okay fight, right? It was a cool fight. Errol Spence looked world-class. He looked fantastic. But it just wasn't booming news. It wasn't booming news, And what has been booming? Let me tell you. Jake Paul, Nate Robinson, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. in their 50s, and now Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. It's like the sport needs this. It is a circus in a way when it comes to the matchups. We got 50-year-old legends fighting. We got a fucking YouTuber fighting an ex-NBA player. And now we got a YouTuber fighting an ex-boxing legend, the greatest to ever do, in my opinion. But is the business booming? Business is booming. And that's the point here. I am willing to say that boxing needs this right now. In my opinion, especially with COVID in the midst of this corona culture, it's a dying sport. It's a dying sport. It's been dying for a couple of years, to be quite honest with you. It's been dying for a couple of years. We had a few highlights. I mean, obviously, we had Floyd Pacquiao. But ever since, I would say, Floyd retired, it really started to die. Ever since Floyd Mayweather retired. We had a couple highlights after that. Canelo Triple G, Tyson Wilder, 1 and 2, Fury Rees, But it just feels like the kind of atmosphere that us fans would really feel and connect to the sport of boxing just isn't there no longer. And these kind of matchups are kind of bringing a spark that the sport needs. You know, now to criticize this, all right, this is a circus show. Okay, so I just gave it its props. I gave it what I think it deserves as far as compliments and how this helps the sport. Now to criticize it, this is a joke. Honestly, it's a joke. Um, it's not a disgrace to boxing. It's not hurting boxing. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't make a valid argument to say that. Tell me, is it gonna hurt the business? And I know boxing is not all about business. We want to see the best go at it. But is everyone tuning in? Are the casuals tuning in to see Danny Garcia and Errol Spence? No. It's just reality, man. It's reality. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. had 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. I believe Wilder and Fury didn't even have that. And that was big. I believe it had around 800,000, if I'm not mistaken. Triple G and Canelo, that might have had a million, maybe. Maybe. That's tops. But I still don't think it topped Tyson and Jones Jr. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I'm pretty sure it didn't top it. Now, the point is here, we need it. But to get back to the criticisms, it's a joke. It's kind of disrespectful to the world class boxers. But at the end of the day, theatrics sells. Theatrics sells. It's just a world we live in. That's why Conor made it to where he is. Conor McGregor. Yes, he's a good fighter, but a big reason why was theatrics. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, Floyd Mayweather. And if you're lucky enough to have the skill and the theatrics, you're a fucking superstar. Look at Israel Adesanya. Just look at these guys. That's what you need in today's combat sports arena. That's what you need to succeed. And because people like Logan Paul have tens of millions of fucking fans, when they fight, people are going to tune in. Doesn't matter if they know how to fucking box. They don't care. They're going to tune in because he's relevant, because he's an influencer, and because he piques people's interests. Danny Garcia doesn't pique people's interest, at least compared to Logan Paul. Not even Errol Spence, who's a monster, a fucking beast, who would kill fucking Logan Paul probably in the ring. It's not about the skills to the casuals, man. And this is no disrespect to the casuals. Even to the hardcore, let's be honest, man. We want to see a spectacle. We want theatrics. Let's not lie. Let's not lie about this. This is just the truth. I'm speaking the truth. We all know it. We all know it. This is just the craziest, the most bizarre matchup I've seen up to date. Am I scared for the sport as far as it having respect? Not business. Business is booming. But as far as it having respect, I'm a little scared. I just wish, there's more theatrics with the real fighters. And that's just, most fighters aren't like that, Canelo is just a quiet dude, keeps himself, does what he has to do in the ring and goes. And yeah, he's a big star. He's a big star, and then, in the grand scheme of things. But he just wouldn't sell like Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. It's this reality. And it's hard to say it's hurting the sport of boxing. It's helping give a spark that's much needed, especially during the midst of this COVID, like I said before. People want something to grasp to. And this is truly enticing to the masses. Truly, truly enticing. So here we are. Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. Now, to try to break down this fight, what happens in the ring the day of, I will try my best. So, Logan Paul clearly has a size advantage, right? And probably a power advantage. But Floyd is obviously light years ahead when it comes to skill. And he's been doing it since he was in fucking diapers, basically. Floyd Mayweather Sr. had his ass on hitting bags or 2 years old, hitting fucking punching bags. So I think Floyd will definitely keep his distance to the best of his ability. circle around the ring, take angles, outsmart Logan Paul with his experience and his finesse, and just outbox a dude. It's an exhibition, from what I've heard. So I'm sure there's probably going to be some rules, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be to the extent of Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. I don't believe it will be 8 rounds. I'd be very, very shocked because I believe Logan Paul fought KSI for 6 rounds. So maybe it might be 8, but it'll probably be 6. Unless Logan's up to it. Unless he's up to 8 or 12, which would be very tough for him probably. He hasn't been in that kind of situation, I believe. So the cardio issue won't be nothing to Floyd, not even in his 40s. Even if it was 12 rounds, honestly, he's going to be cruising. Now, if there's no rules, if it's just said it's not officially scored, but there's no rules, everything goes, I guess that would be the most interesting scenario. Because Logan can go all out with his power and just throw haymakers that probably won't land. He's definitely not the fastest guy Floyd's seen. And he probably doesn't even hit as hard as Canelo. But if that is a scenario, everything goes, knockouts, everything, Floyd will probably try to tire him out since he's a bigger dude. Get him, rough him up, go to the body, take angles like I said, pop him with that right hand like he always has in the past, set him up, and maybe try to finish him. Maybe TKO him. I don't know if he can KO him. He's a big dude. I don't know if Floyd even has the power to do so anymore at this age. But I could see him TKOing Logan similarly to the way he TKO'd Conor. Now, Conor's a little bit smaller. He's around 5'9", 170. Logan's 6'1", I would say 200, 190, 200 pounds. And I believe he's probably going to come to the fight. I'm going to say no less than 190 the day of. As far as weight, I don't know how they're going to meet in the middle because Logan's too damn big and Floyd's too small. It'd have to be like Floyd getting as heavy as he can and Logan getting as fucking light as he can. That's what would have to happen. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be much of a factor. But that's how I see the fight going technically. Not to wrap up my thoughts on this because what else could be said? I personally will be watching this fight, and I think most of you will too. I think you're lying to yourself if you're saying that I'm not watching this shit. Maybe some of you aren't, and that's okay. And here's the thing, you can disagree with it. You could say, fuck this, I don't want to watch this. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't, say that this is bad for the sport, because it's not. It's helping give the sports some business. That's just reality, man. The sport needs to be revived. And hopefully this fucking opens the eyes of promoters to put on the best fights. They're gonna be like, oh shit, this YouTuber is making more money than my best fighter, Terrence Crawford. Shit. Open your goddamn eyes, Bob Arum. Don King, whatever, or whoever other, Oscar De La Hoya. Open your fucking eyes. Or your business will be stolen by Logan and Jake Paul, KSI, and all these other YouTubers that want to fight. Pick up your game, man. That's just reality. You gotta pick up your game before it's too late. Before boxing becomes a circus show. Before the Zone just puts on fucking YouTube fights. That's all. The YouTube fighters. A whole fucking card of YouTube fighters. That's what's gonna happen with the Zone, with these other, streaming platforms. Because they want business. At the end of the day, it's a fucking business. Money talks. And there's a lot of money behind those Paul brothers. A lot of money. But yeah, guys, that's gonna, I think, wrap up this video. I had to fucking speak on it. I had a lot to say. This is my opinion, of course. If you disagree, I'd love to hear it. If you want to talk shit, fuck it. I'd love to hear it. I love you all either way, whether you hate me or love me. I love all of you. And like I said before, if you enjoyed hearing me rant about this bizarre, insane matchup, please show some love. Hit that like button. And if you already haven't become part of the family, hit that goddamn sub button, man, because you can stay up to date with me, yours truly. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I'll catch you in the next video. This is JDray signing out. Peace.